welcome. Man, this couch is huge.
I know.
Okay.
I really like these couch panels like this. I just want to sit here and look at everybody and, you know, just sit on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's really nice. It's like Friends.
Testing 1, 2.
Don't do it.
All right. Well, this is the My Hero panel. Woo!
I mean, woo!
Very chill.
Thank you guys for being here. It's really exciting. How do you guys want to do this? Do you want to like...
Who are we?
Like introduce ourselves and then check questions?
You don't even go here.
What?
You don't even go here. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm out!
You don't even go.
She doesn't even go here.
Gosh, I love quoting that movie.
Let's introduce ourselves. Starting with Alejandro.
Oh,
He's in
right.
cosplay, so you may not recognize him.
Hi, I'm Alejandro Saab. I voice Naomasa Tsukauchi, the detective. That's why I'm dressed like this. I'm the Commissioner Gordon to All Might's Batman. That's who I am. That or Inspector Gadget, whichever you prefer. Now, while they introduce themselves, I'm gonna take off.
He actually always dresses like that. Don't let him fool you.
You caught me.
Hey, my name is Morgan Berry, and I am the voice of the Space Hero 13.
Yay!
Hello, everybody. My name is David Matranga, and I voice Todoroki.
Hey, everybody. I'm not David Matranga. I'm Kristen McGuire, and I play Tatami Nakagame. Hey! And this is the My Hero panel, which has no format.
Yeah, so do we have someone, we don't even have someone in the audience to listen to, for mics, do we? No?
Mics.
Every time I'm on, I have a wireless mic like this, I have a compulsion on it.
Look, Dicky's mom's on it. Look at her run.
What?
Go get him, champ.
It's so much nicer not to be in the trench coat.
Oh, man.
This is still cosplay, by the way.
So do we want to... Okay.
Well, Mike's, you know what?
You have to suffer.
Share.
Yeah, sure.
My hands are sweaty.
Do you guys want to say at all how we got involved in My Hero and then take questions, or is that just boring? Is that just really boring? All right, fine, we won't do that. We'll just take your questions.
Raise hands.
Last question.
This is Todoroki.
Do any of you know Steven Universe?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Do any of you know Steven Universe?
Yes.
What's your favorite character and why?
Lapis. Because she's very depressing.
I love Garnet. I love her so much.
I don't watch it, but I met one of the voice actors, I think, who's in it, who I can't remember the person's name, so that person would be my favorite.
That's a good name.
I don't watch it, and I have not met any of the voice actors in it.
Right back
She
here.
won that question.
Do you ship Deku and Todoroki together?
Well, my official answer is that, you know, I don't want to get in the way of any of the creators or the licensors to come out one way or the other. And since we're starting to record, I don't want to say one way or the other. But you know, I think it's cute.
Well, there you have it. Back here.
Who's your favorite character from My Hero Academia?
Good question.
I have a fake answer and a real answer. Guess which one is which? So, there's Stain.
Oh, you took my...
And then there's Mineta. Which is the real one and which is the fake one? You find out.
I know the answer, I think. I love Shinso. Yes! I love him.
So,
Good boy, good boy.
mine is a toss-up between two very different people. One is Stain. I love Stain, but I also really like Gran Torino. So
I feel like my answer is like kind of lame because it's like super obvious, but it's me. I'm just kidding. I really like Bakugo. He's such an angry boy.
I love
he has nice arms. That's my answer.
If you could choose any quirk or superpower from My Hero, what would you choose?
Oh, it's from My Hero specifically, like we don't come up with it?
Or one you create.
Because I always have a go-to answer, and it's like the manipulation of time. But because it's My Hero Academia, in My Hero Academia, every quirk has like a drawback, or like some sort of weakness. The thing with this quirk is, whatever second, minute, or hour that is used up, that takes away from my life. Yeah, it is! You gotta be really careful with how you use it. Did they steal your answer again?
Go ahead.
Okay, so 13's quirk is black hole, and I think that'd be really cool to like have that ability to clean up the earth, because there's so much crap, like so much trash everywhere. Like, you know, 13 could just go across the street and clean up the place. And like, wouldn't that be so convenient though? You know, do some good in the world.
Yeah.
Space is huge.
It'd come back as a meteor.
Yeah.
When 13 is gone and can't take care of the problem.
Yeah.
I really...
I don't know. Nah, I think it would be fine. Space is huge. There's plenty of space for the trash. Exactly. There's lots of space in space. So
I just really...
that's my
I'm just really... I don't want to answer because I want Kristen to answer. But, yeah, I would like to be able to, like, collectively change the energy in a room. Like, for better or for worse, I guess. It's a dangerous thing to be able to do, like, but I don't know, I think I would like that quirk.
Fun story, David was in my office at Funimation the other day and was like, hey, My Hero panel, and he's like, you know they're gonna ask us what our quirks would be. And I was like, man, I gotta come up with a really good answer. And I thought about it took me like 2 days, but I thought about it and I came up with a really good one and I told him backstage and he was like, oh my God, I can't wait. So here's my answer that I prepared. If I had a quirk, it would be the ability to open up a portal, and I could send bad guys into porta potties that are locked, and so like they can't get out, and my hero name would be Portal Potty.
I love it. I love it. I'm not gonna lie, I thought what you were gonna say is, so I came up with this idea and it took me 2 days. So my quirk would be to change the energy in the room. I thought David stole it.
Have you heard about Brittany? Is it Brittany Karbowski's?
Oh, yes.
Should we just wait for them to be at a convention with Brittany Karbowski, or can we tell it?
Tell her.
All right, we'll let you guys wait. I can't believe I built it up. Her quirk, she would choose to be able to throw a fart at anybody.
At any location.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Anyway.
Hello. So, as we all know, season 4 is coming out very, very soon.
Right.
And one of the things I wanted to know is how excited are all of you for season 4, given that you guys are voice actors, and why? Without revealing anything.
Well, let me just, I'll get out of the way on this one. Not that excited, because I failed the provisional licensing exam.
Yeah, you did.
And I have to, like, sit in a classroom for season 4. Yeah, you're like, yeah, you do. Yeah.
Well, I don't think Tsukauchi's in season 4 at all. I think the one thing happens, and then he's out of commission until the manga chapter that just came out like two weeks ago. But I'm a huge fan of My Hero Academia. Like I'm caught up on the manga for My Hero and Vigilantes, and thank you. And I'm just really excited to see how they animate season 4.
I already forgot the question. Sorry.
Are you excited for season 4?
Oh, of course! Yeah! I have one line.
I don't think I'm in season 4. I'd probably be a lot more excited about it if I was, and not for money reasons, just because I like being in it. But I am excited about it for my friends that are involved in it, because I know some people that are going to be in it that are really, really excited about it. So I'm really excited for those people who shall remain nameless at this time.
Yeah, I have to amend my answer too. Like, while my first answer is true, I'm really, I got to see a sneak peek at Anime Expo this year, and it's legit. I mean, it's going to be exciting. So I'm excited just to watch it. Like Alejandro said, I went back and watched all of it, and I was like, I really dig this show. I really like this show. Like, the world that's created, the characters, all of it. So I can't wait to see what happens.
It's a good show. My kids watch it, so I haven't seen it from start to finish, but I've seen like parts of it, and like the part where they fight like Stain, like I was like tearing up.
Oh yeah.
I was all like, oh my god, you guys can do it! Like, I was like really into it, and so it makes me want to go back and like watch it from the beginning, because I've just seen like parts and pieces of it, and I'm like, God, this is a really good story, and I'm like, man, my friends are so talented. Like, it's good. Anyway, next question.
Hi, what is your favorite opening from My Hero?
Favorite opening?
Season 3's opening, duh.
Season 4, baby! Because it's not out yet.
Always look to the future.
Yes, I like that.
You could say it's an odd future. That's one of the opening titles.
Season 3 is the only opening I've actually watched all the way through, and just because I'm like, I'm in it! Yay!
I just love the first opening and the first ending song. Like, I don't know, those two are my favorite.
Season 1?
Oh yeah, season 1. The Day and Heroes.
Right.
And I do English song covers, so feel free to check those out.
That was my preference too. I don't know. I love the way season 1 starts, the whole vibe, the way they take their time with it, but yeah.
What's that cool song that plays like during all the battle scenes? Is it Jumpstart? Oh, is that it?
You Say Run.
You Say
Thank
Run!
you.
I love that song. I like that song. Yeah.
If you could meet a character that you just like, what would you say to them?
Why are you a policeman? He could literally, so for those of you who don't know, Tsukauchi's quirk is literally perfect for the police force. It's human lie detector. So he knows whenever someone is lying to them. So just imagine how many people he could just screw in. It's amazing. So I don't know. I'd ask them, why are you in the police force? When you could be messing with people's minds and robbing banks. No, he's a great policeman.
If I met my character, what would I tell them? Don't be so hard on yourself.
Oh, what a real answer.
Sorry. Yeah, I feel like Todoroki's got high expectations of himself, and like, you know, I mean, he was trained, raised to be that way, and I think it can make you really, you know, abnormally hard on yourself. Yeah, so I want there to be something that happens at some point in the future where he's like, oh yeah, I'm pretty proud of that, you know?
I would say I want to be like you when I grow up, because 13 is just amazing. 13 is an incredibly good hero. You know, they have a quirk that could destroy the entire planet, yeah, but they choose to, you know, preach peace and, you know, be like, no, be a real hero and use your quirks for good, and I admire that, so.
If I met Nakagame, I would tell her, how do you get your hair like that? And then I would hope she'd tell me her secret. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you think it's just gel? I can't figure out if they're pigtails or sideburns. Both. Anyway, pigburns.
If you guys can choose, would you rather be a villain or a hero?
If we could choose, would we rather be a villain or a hero?
Man. I don't know. And I say I don't know because heroes are so limited. They have so much paperwork paperwork to do. So much paperwork. God, I don't. Yeah, be a vigilante. They'll get in trouble real quick. If you could be a hero or a villain. In my heart, I of course would be a hero. But if I was playing a video game, I'd be a villain. Like, I don't know. And if anyone reads the manga and read the arc where it was like My Villain Academia, because come on.
I would want to be a rescue hero. Because you know, there's two different types of heroes. There's the ones that fight. There's the ones that rescue. I would be a rescue hero, so I could help people.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah, I always think it's a hard question to answer because, you know, very rarely, at least in my experience, is there like a pure villain. Like they exist, right? But it's usually something happens in someone's life or something, like there's usually something that triggered them going to that side. And I don't know, maybe it's because as an actor you have to have empathy in some way, but I like, it's why I love Stain. Like Stain, his ideology is so interesting to me. The way he goes about it is not like, I don't agree with it, like personally. So, I know this is a long-winded answer, but I think I would skew to the hero side for sure. But I think it's a fine line to walk between hero and villain.
Villain Todoroki, baby!
Look at that, half and half all the way.
That's so funny that I'm playing that character because I'm just so bad with decisions. Like, you ask me to come down with an answer, like a definitive answer, I'm like, well, yeah, but because my mind will argue both sides of an argument. And so I'm just like, my actual brain just sits in the middle when I've got these two warring, you know, attorneys on either side. So
what was the name of that soup you found earlier?
Oh yeah, there's a hoodie that, because Todoroki's quirk is half cold, half hot, but there's a hoodie going around that says half cold, half warm.
That would be your villain name.
You like throw fire, but it's like not hot. He's like, lukewarm.
It's like, room temperature.
I throw like a heating blanket at people. Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah, here, yeah, I see that you're cold. Boom.
That's a good question. Next.
Hello.
Hi.
So, I was wondering if your characters were to go into your favorite TV shows, what would they do?
They were what?
I have a perfect answer. Okay, if our characters could go.
I already know it.
Oh, you know.
I don't understand the question. Hold on.
Ask it again for them.
Sorry. If your character were to go into your favorite TV show, what would they do?
What would they do? Okay. Yeah, if they went to our favorite.
So, for those of you who know me, you know that my obsession is Voltron. Yes! Woo! And 13 is the space hero. So, you know they'd be up there in space saving some lives, okay? So, that is my answer, and Clance is Canon King. Woo!
I don't know what my favorite TV show is. That's the problem. Yeah. I'm just gonna say it, just because this is the first show that came in my head. The Office. So just Tsukauchi in the office, like, counting their paperwork. Did you know you've committed countless tax frauds over the years? Like, what are you doing? I'm gonna have to arrest you, Michael Scott, I'm sorry. And that's when the show goes horribly wrong.
I feel like, you know, Todoroki would be hanging out with Walter White from Breaking Bad. I don't know, maybe learn some shady stuff. Maybe help him launder money. I don't know. See,
like,
I'm a villain now.
You don't need the lab. You don't need the lab. It's just like, are you making drugs?
Yeah.
Where would I be making drugs?
You know what?
I don't have a lab. And then they leave Todoroki started.
Yeah, exactly. We need to heat up that beacon.
Beaker. It's a beaker. A beacon's a light, a beaker's like glass.
Beaker's a glass.
Yeah. Beaker. Like the Sesame Street
You say a
character.
word and it doesn't doesn't sound like a word.
What a funny
That's what
word.
just happened to me.
Beaker. One of my favorite TV shows is Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah! Actually, it's that. Yeah.
So I feel like Tatami Nakagame, yeah, she would fit probably in well on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She'd be like,
Hell yeah.
She's like, I'll help solve a murder with my telescopic power.
I think another one would be DuckTales.
So yeah, good question. I've never been asked that before.
That was great.
Hi, my name is AJ.
Hi.
I have a channel dedicated to talk about voice acting and the technical stuff around it, so would you mind a more technical answer about...
I will only use big words.
That's fine. So My Hero Academia is one of the full handful of shows that gets a same-day simuldub. What's the workload like compared to the other shows that you guys work on?
I'll take this one, guys.
Yep, I looked right at it.
Hey, I'm a full-time scriptwriter for Funimation, so I've also directed. So of everyone here, I probably know this answer the best. If a same-day simuldub comes in, the workload's not really that much different than the simuldubs that are 2 weeks behind. The only difference is we can't watch the episode first with subtitles to know what's going on. We have to have a translation document open and watch the video. And then so you're like reading this translation document, which may or may not have names in it, FYI. And then you're watching the video, and then you go back and you would write to that. Luckily, My Hero Academia has a manga, which helps with, future casting and knowing things like that. But the workload's not really any extra, but I do like to take this moment to tell everyone that it takes approximately 60 hours of work from translation to finished recording for each 24-minute episode of anything we dub. So is $5.99 too much a month to pay? Probably not. But it takes about 60 hours of work to do one episode. It takes a week. It takes about 2 weeks altogether, 2 to 3 days for the script, and then about a week to record it, and then they have to mix it, they have to do a booth review for it, then it has to be quality assurance checked by somebody else. So it goes through a lot of hands before it airs in order to get it up on the same day as the Japanese, as it's airing in Japan. So basically we just have to start on it. Japan will give us those materials in advance and we would work on it for about a week and a half to 2 weeks before it's even aired in Japan. And sometimes we're not even working the final video. So sometimes the video can change actually before we're done recording it, and we may have to go back in and do pickups or things like that. But it's a very complicated process, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but we love it. We love that you guys love it. So I hope that was technical enough for you. If you guys want to add anything, you can.
What was the initial question again about what's the difference now that it's...
Because it's same day.
Between same day and ones that take a couple of weeks to come.
Right. So
there's not really a
Kristen
difference.
really summed that up as far as, I didn't actually know that. I'm glad to know that it's 60 hours.
I counted it up once,
So that really answers that question, head on. The only perspective I can lend to that is, from an acting perspective, back in the day, you used to, something was already completed in Japan, maybe it's been out a year there or whatever, you could schedule, as an actor, if you were a lead role and you had 40 hours of work to record this whole first season, you could schedule those 2 sessions a week for however long, and knock that out. Now, you have to figure, you have to be available. So it's every 10 days, like I'm doing a show called Copcraft right now, and I play one of the, Copcraft! I love that show. But, so I'm playing one of the lead roles in that, so I mostly have 4 or 5 hours minimum a week to record. So I have to make sure that I am available at least 1 day a week, if not 2, to record that. So that's a different change from an acting schedule, but it really does change the entire production schedule. Yeah. When you have to do a simuldub, you're waiting on materials. The other thing as an actor is you can't go watch the entire thing unless, especially with something that's being released 10 days, 5 days after.
Yeah.
Even the directors it affects, because you're not sure what the actual story, even if you read the manga, you don't know how's the anime gonna, you know, approach
Better
it.
hope that it doesn't like do filler or an original ending.
A lot of people worry. A big concern with simuldubs is something I hear online a lot because I skulk in Reddit. A lot of things I see online is people say that simuldubs are rushed because we're trying to meet this deadline, and I disagree because I've been there. I've been writing scripts since before simuldubs became a thing, and it takes the same amount of time now as it did back then. But I've also directed, I've written, I've acted, I've played all facets of production. And I will tell you that if anything, we're more meticulous with simuldubs because we don't want anything to bite us later. So if something comes up and we're like, huh, this seems kind of odd, we better research this. So then we'll like dive into it and research it, and we'll send it off for questions with like translation and try to get confirmation on things because we want it to be right now. We don't want in like 3 weeks for that to come back and be like, oops, that was wrong.
There's less room for error with the simuldub, you know, the turnaround is so quick that I agree with that. I think sometimes when you had all the time in the world, or you know, back in the day, your timeline was only what you promised to the licensor. So you licensed a title from Japan, and you said, I can get this to market, you know, by this date, and that was your production deadline. It had nothing to do with the fact that they were still making the anime, you know. So it changes it completely. I think you have to be more specific, you know. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we're more meticulous than ever. At least I feel like we are. So. You guys have anything to add to that?
Nope.
Do you have anything to add, Morgan?
Yeah.
Nope. Okay, great question.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, creative question. If you had to fuse a My Hero Academia character and any video game character, who would you pick? Like, for example, I'll pick Captain Falcon All Might. I'll call him Captain All Might. And their super move will be United States of Falcon Punch. So, personal opinion.
The first one that came to my mind was Tsukauchi. Wait, does it have to be our character?
It can be any character.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought of Tsukauchi and Akechi from Persona 5. And for any of you who have beaten Persona 5, I won't spoil it, especially because Royal's coming out soon. Woo! Akechi's great. Woo! What I would name him, I have no idea.
Back to me on that one.
Naomasa Tsukauchi.
I'm gonna have to think about that. I'm like just getting back into the gaming world, and so I don't have a lot of information to pull from.
Mineta and Futaba.
Okay, Nakagame and Calamity Ganon.
Yes!
Right? And she can just be like, Calamity Game. Calamity Game! Meanest scourge in all of Hyrule! I don't know that it would really be any different. I just want like a smoke cloud with like Nakagame's head, like swirling around Hyrule Castle, like big old shark smile on her face, like it'd be great. Then Link will come up and she'll be like, Link, can I get your autograph? Like,
it's gonna be great. This is not the answer. This is not an answer to the question, but I want to fuse Todoroki and the Hulk because I feel like Todoroki needs some like anger release, and I don't know, it can be a Hulkaroki. And like you can be green and blue and red.
Oh, Bakugo and Sans. Bakugo and Sans.
I feel like that's a terrible combination. There's just so much anger.
In the short, it'll be like, I'll kill you.
Anyway.
Lord Explosion Sans.
Lord Explosion Sans! So, what are the hardest roles you've ever had to do?
Hardest roles we've ever had to do.
I think, okay, so it wasn't really the hardest, but something that really tripped me up was like, I voiced in a show called Namaka, where I played Uno. Thank you. And I went from that, where Aaron Dismuke was telling me, oh, slang it up, you know, just like drop letters and words and, you know, and I was like, all right, that's weird, whatever. And then I had to go to a show called The Royal Tutor, where I was Leonard. Wow, thank you. And the director for that wanted me to make it proper. And I was having a really hard time going from that to that, so I had to do this exercise, How Now, Brown Cow, which would allow you to go around the words and make you sound more formal. And then by the end of it, we were all just doing a J. Michael Tatum impression, who ended up being our eldest brother.
Oh, okay, sorry, I forgot the question and I was like, trying to remember it. Okay, so hardest role. So, I booked a gig in Marvel Avengers Academy. And, woo, yeah! Well, I auditioned for it, and I just kinda, I don't know, I threw it together. It was for Silver Sable. And they wanted a Russian dialect. And so, and I was planning on auditioning for another character, but I thought, I might as well audition for this one too. And I just threw it together, and I thought, that's Russian, right? I didn't think I would book it, and I did. So, yeah, and they needed those lines within 2 days. So I immediately downloaded like over 300 audio files of the Slavic dialect, and I studied my butt off. I recorded the lines, sent them in. Thankfully, they loved it. Yeah!
Can you do it now?
No, don't ask me to do it, because I can't. Yeah, that was the hardest role.
I think, so I have the hardest role, it was, I did a movie called Appleseed Ex Machina, and some people know it. It was at a time in my career where I was moving from more like teenager, high school stuff into like deeper, or that's what they were asking me to do. It wasn't my normal speaking voice, and I really had to lay down on my vocal cords to get there, and he's this huge cyborg, and it's become one of my favorite characters, but it was so hard on my voice vocally to do. It ended up working out because in that specific film, his cyborg computer system was getting hacked, and so he's losing his mind. He at one point plugs into one of the systems, and so if you watch it, you can hear me sort of losing my voice as the film goes, and it totally just works. It works for the film, but it was really rough to record. The other thing that can be hard is, like, I'm in 2 shows right now, so I'm in Ensemble Stars and Copcraft, and sometimes I'll have to record Ensemble Stars first, and then go to Copcraft, and depending on how the schedule goes that day, go back to Ensemble Stars. Well, they're really different characters vocally for me, so it takes about a couple minutes to get into the jaded cop who's gruff and, kind of mad at everything, to the more innocent, high school student who's trying to be a pop star. So that can be challenging too in the same day,
I also have 2 answers and follow your lead. Take 5, I'll just tell you my whole career. So my story started when I was born. The most difficult character I probably ever had to play was a character named Yuko in Junji Ito collection. She has a slug for a tongue, because anime. And so the whole time we recorded, he had to talk like this, but he can't sound like he's slow because he's not slow, so he just has a slug tongue. And so we had to record this way, but it had to sound like normal, and then she has to vomit a slug at one point, and it comes up, slaps her in the face. Guess we're done.
All right, panel's over.
Yay! And so I had to make like vomiting noises, but I had to do it while making it sound like there was a slug in my mouth. So it's not like a it's like a it's weird. It was weird. It was very difficult, and I'm also very queasy as a person, and so like I was like, and I had to go direct afterwards, and for like 4 hours, Megan Shipman had to listen to me go, I'm so nauseous, and but that was probably the most difficult, just because like technically it was the most challenging, and then kind of like what David was saying between Copcraft and Ensemble Stars. Last season I played Cinco in The Helpful Fox, but I also played she's still sort of there. Kana in a girl who chants love at the bound of this world, something really long. And of course, Cinco is like really high-pitched and like breathy and warm, and then Kana is like a jaded prostitute. So it was really hard to like, because much like you, I'd have those in the same day sometimes. So it's like, I have to go from being like warm and happy to like, I hate everything in life. So that can be like really challenging. So, yeah.
Morgan, do you remember writing the song Voltron Heroes? And who would be Lance and Keith from My Hero Academia?
Who would be this what?
Who from My Hero Academia would be Lance and Keith?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I love them so much.
That would be like...
Bakugo would be Keith, I think, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then for Lance, who's the French dude that Joel voices for? What's his name? With the belly button guy. The belly button dude. That would be Lance. Yeah. I love him.
Before the next question, can I embarrass my parents really fast?
Yeah.
You guys mind? My parents are here this weekend. It's their first ever anime con. This is them right there. I just really want to embarrass them. So they've never been here before, but they're having a great time.
Welcome to the nerd den.
They think you're all very lovely people.
Wait till after dark.
Okay, so My Hero David, as you and My Hero David character, you had to choose one villain to fight, who would it be?
Say that again. The sound is really loud.
As your My Hero character, if you had to choose one villain to fight, who would it be?
Well, I've already caught Stain.
Fight him again. I'm sure Shigaraki will end up killing me or something.
Well, I'm just gonna lay this right here. I would fight Dobby.
Man, all them theories, am I right, guys?
If I could choose one villain for Nakagame to fight, it would be Mineta.
Okay. The name escapes me, but the character that's very much like Deadpool.
Oh, Twice.
Yeah, there we go. Twice. Him.
He's just dead.
He's hilarious.
I'm a cop, I don't know. I fight them all at some point. I'm gonna arrest them.
Hi. What were your most memorable moments recording in the booth, whether it be like funny lines, dramatic lines, or directorial choices?
Oh. Well, I don't know. I really like doing bombs. Like, those are fun. And for Wise Man's grandchild, I decided to throw a meme in there, and it fit the flaps. It fit the animation flaps. I did the two bros chilling in a hot tub, 5 feet apart because they're not gay. Yeah! And it fit the flaps perfectly, and I really hope that he held on to that clip somehow, because I want to watch it again.
Is this specifically for My Hero? Okay. So normally I have the answer where Aaron gave me the line direction of say it like you're coming on to a baby in front of my girlfriend. But recently I remembered when I was recording this indie game over at Sound Cadence called Love Esquire. The person directing me at the time was Emily Fajardo, and her mom was there, and I had to rap about milking my cow. But I would say my cow's tits. So I had to implement that into a rap. And when I got out, this is the first time her mother had ever seen anyone do voiceover. And she's like, oh my God, you were so good. I'm like, I want to die. And it was so bad that I blocked this out of my mind until like a month ago. And I was like, oh my God, that did happen. Yeah. But yes, those two.
I just have to say this, and I felt this at my solo panel yesterday, but like maybe I've spent too much time in front of microphones, but I want popper stoppers for all these mics so badly. Like, Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Just that was just my OCD needing a pump. The first one that comes to mind for me is from My Hero, and it's the line, Midoriya, what are you, All Might's secret love child? Because when I was recording that, you know, you read ahead, you know, you're reading into the script, and I saw that line, and I was like, I just started laughing. I was like, wait, really? Oh, this is the real line? I have to say this? Because it just didn't seem like, you know, in Todoroki's world, but it totally works, and it's totally right. And I love that it's like in that like hallway, and you know, yeah, so, but I had to work at it to be like, because like, Todoroki doesn't have like a, you know, stellar sense of humor or anything, you know what I mean? So he wasn't making a funny, like, he was legitimately asking it that way. So I was like, how do I make this truthful? But anyway, yeah, that was a moment that I was shocked by.
There's so many favorite moments in the booth, because a lot of people are a lot of fun to work with, but one that I can specifically remember, like, I had to sit down, was on, when we were recording on Elk Live, I was in the booth recording for Dolu, which is a nice little chest parasite that lives in Morgan. And our engineer, Nagaris, was really great at like taking weird sound effects and like moving them around. And there was this sound effect in the show that sounded like a fart. It was like a... And there was a point where like, there's a girl in the show that says Chuda smells bad all the time, and it's like an alien thing, because the show's about aliens. And she, like... So like, she walks by and she gives Chuda this disgusted look, and Chuda's supposed to be like, is it my smell? So what we didn't know is that Nagaris had moved this weird fart sound that was just like in the M&E, this sound, and he like moved it to where like when she walked by, like it was like, and she goes, is it my smell?
But you know what's really funny is that when she's walking in this direction, the wind there's sparkles, and as Chuda is walking this way, this is the face he makes when he's walking the opposite direction.
Yeah, and so like he puts this farts down there, and that was funny. But what we didn't expect is that Nagaris would think his own work was so funny that he would laugh so hard that he stood up because he was laughing and then passed out. What? He passed out. He was like, ah! And he just fell. And I was in the booth and I was like, Nagaris! And he like gets up and he's like, ah! And I was like, did you just pass out? And it was so funny that I had to like crouch in the booth because I was laughing so hard. I was afraid I was gonna pass out.
And you were...
And it was like he woke up and he was like, oh, I heard music.
I don't remember, it was so long ago.
And there was a reason he heard music. It was because as he was going down, his head hit Sunny's ukulele.
Oh.
What? Yeah. Yes, he really passed out.
He laughed so hard, he passed out. He was so proud of that fart sound.
That guy likes farts, man.
It was such a great moment, and I'll never forget that moment of when we almost killed Nagaris with laughter.
Fart laughter.
With fart laughter. So that was a really fun moment.
So I just want to know how you guys feel about Bakugo not getting his hero license. Do you feel bad for him, or do you feel like he deserves it?
Bakugo's gonna be the best hero on the planet. It's fine. This is only a stepping stone.
Oh, man.
What about Todoroki?
Who?
Whoa, half bird?
Whatever, I have no, like, awkward, it's...
I feel bad for him, just out of, you know, empathy, because I feel bad for myself.
It's all about you, isn't it?
I just feel like Bakugo should get good. Hey, then he'd pass.
Ditto.
Yep. Sounds good.
Sorry. Yeah, this is fine.
What are you gonna ask?
Hi. So my hero has a very well-created world, a very well-built world that lends to very unique and grounded characters. What do you think about the world lends to your performance and lets you have those big emotional moments besides just the writing and the world building itself, or it could be the world building?
I'm gonna pass. I haven't had any big emotional moments.
I mean, the characters are drawn so well. Like when you create a strong world, and then it lends itself to creating strong characters within that world. I mean, I think they go together, you know? So the world bolsters the characters, and the characters can be strong and exist because the world is well drawn and well thought out. I mean, Todoroki's kind of obvious. You know, his backstory is, you know, it's the kind of stuff you want to get to do. It's because it's so emotional, and I felt a responsibility to make sure that was right. You know what I mean? It's funny, when we recorded the episode where you see all of that stuff, we left the episode running a bit. Like, you know, normally we just cut, we jump from scene to scene. But something about it, I got to see more happening that I wasn't speaking in, because sometimes you don't see scenes that your character is in if you don't speak in them, right? I had a whole seasons of Attack on Titan where, you know, Bertolt doesn't talk, but he's there. And when I went back and watched it, I was like, oh man, I should have watched more of this to give me, anyway, that's a tangent. But yeah, I think the material it's right there for you. All you have to do is like release into it, so yeah.
Yeah, that answer.
Same.
We have an answer from front.
We've also got like 5 minutes. 5-minute warning.
Okay, cool.
Hey guys. What would my hero character be like as a YouTuber?
Theories. You'd be like, hey, how's it going? Today we're theorizing about heroes. Is this a villain? Is Kaminari a villain because of this? Let's find out.
I think my character would be an angst-ridden mime.
I'd like to think that 13 would be like a gamer. Sounds fun to me. Yeah.
I feel like Nakagame's would be like a podcast style interview, like interviewing heroes, you know? She'd be like, so Todoroki, what's your quirk like?
It's hot. It's cold.
That's probably it. Yes.
What got you into voice acting, and was there a plan B if it didn't work out?
This is gonna have to be a quick answer. We only have like 3 minutes.
All right, don't do this, but I was studying animation, then I dropped out, and I was like, all right, I'm off to Texas. And then I'm now in LA. That's the abridged version.
What was the question?
How did we get into voice acting?
Oh, okay. And was there going to be a plan B?
The plan B was YouTube, which is still going strong.
For
Follow
me,
me on Candy Films.
I didn't feel like there was a plan B for me. I just loved performing, and I wanted to have something to do with that. I love singing and acting and dancing, and I love performing, so there was really no plan B.
Yeah, my plan B, I think, was like living off of Social Security by the time I just, couldn't make it. My head, I was, I'm kidding. Probably will be right. I trained as an actor. I was acting from a young age, and I knew I always wanted to do it, and I got into it by just a simple audition for an anime like 9,000 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. And so I didn't really have a plan B. I'm the kind of person that was always strategizing. So even as I was like booking work and becoming, finding my path, I was always going, well, man, I could get a degree in psychology, or I could, I still will go, maybe I should do something else, So there's plan Bs floating around. I'm just glad I don't have to do them.
This is gonna sound weird, but voice acting was my plan B. I never set out to be a voice actor. I set out to be a comic book artist. I wanted to make comic books, and I did, and then I met voice actors, and they were like, you did theater in school? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, well, you should try it for Funimation. And I was like, all right, what's the worst they could say? No. And that was my mindset going into it. And I did open auditions, and I got called back. And I was like, man, I really like this. I should seriously study acting, though, if I want to make this a career. Because then I decided I wanted to, and then I've done that. I've studied acting for the past 5 years in various workshops and coaches and books and all that to get to where I am today. But this was my plan B. So
great answer. I love that.
Yeah. We're gonna wrap up. You guys want to say your schedules, where you're at?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh, I'm starting? All right, I guess.
I mean, I didn't mean that in a bad way.
Well, we're all gonna be signing it at 4:30.
4:30.
Be signing.
I might be there earlier, just because I can.
Okay.
But yeah, so autographs in the autograph room.
Yeah.
All of us, right?
We can write all over your stuff.
Yeah, we'll write all over your stuff. And then if you guys are here tomorrow, I have a panel at 12 to 1 and autographs from 1 to 2:30.
I'll be doing autographs at 4:30, and I also have a table. If you leave out here and turn left, I have a table out there where I'm selling my artwork that I made myself. So you guys can check that out if you want. Thank you guys so much for coming to the panel. You guys are awesome.
Thank you for watching My Hero.
Yeah.
Where's my Vigilantes anime, am I right?
You are dismissed.
Goodbye.
Thanks, teacher.